ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 6, beginning from verse number 12. And this is description of Lord Rishabdev as given by Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So we read how Rishabdev, he gave up his body, or rather he liberated all the beings of the forest when there was a forest fire. And in the commentary it was described that his activities, they are not to be imitated because he was completely out of bodily attachment. Of course his body is transcendental, but from our point of view he was not attached to the body as we are attached to our material bodies. He was completely situated in his own self, and therefore he lived as an avdhuta, not caring for the body, or he showed by his example that this is what it means to be a Paramahansa. So he predicted that in Kali Yuga there will be people who will imitate this, and this will be the cause of their fall down or suffering. So he says that I am avataro rajso upaplupt kavalya upshikshanartha. He says that this avatara is meant for specific people. It is to explain about Jnana Yoga, which was lost, to teach about that, and especially for those who are very much influenced by Rajagun. So Sri Vishnu says that तेन ऋषभदेवो यदैव आविर्बभूव तात्कालिकैर्ज्ञानिजनैरेव तच्चरितम् अनुवर्तितव्यम् इति आहायम्. He says that this avatar of Rishabdev is specifically for the people of time when he himself was manifest, not for the people who came afterwards. Dasa rajagunena upkulitam kalena vinasti bhutam yat kavalam jnane tasya upsikshanatam. So, therefore he says that it is not to be followed especially by people in Kali Yuga. Only those who are in the Satyuga, Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga, they can learn from this. It is teaching the process of moksha or liberation. And tasya anugunan slokan gayanti. There are 3 slokas which describe his character, which became popular about him, which I have stated here. Says Aho bhuva sapta samudravatya dvipesu varsheshu adhipunyametat gayanti yatratya janah murarehe karmani bhadrani avataravanti. Says indeed on this earth, which has 7 oceans on it, and there are 7 islands, this particular land where Rishabdev appeared is very fortunate, because people of this place, they sing the qualities and activities and the avatars of Lord Krishna. So this is specific importance of this place. And of course everybody feels wherever one is born that land is superior. Everybody has attachment to their own place of birth. But it is a fact that the knowledge which is given here is not to be found anywhere else. Although there may be some hints of this knowledge, but the way it is so clearly explained here, it's not to be seen anywhere. So the commentary on this says that Vansheshu api madhye priyavrat vansho dhanya Varsheshu madhye etad bharatam varsham adhipunyam pradam kutai gayanti. That among the various divisions of earth, this particular Varsha, is called Bharat Varsha, is more auspicious. And the reason is that people here, they sing the glories of the various avatars of Lord Krishna. And then here also he specifically talks about those who came in the dynasty of Priyavrata. He says, Ahonuvansho yasa vadataha prayavrto yatra puman puranaha kritavatahara purusha sadhyas chachara dharmam yada karma hetum. Says that in this Bharatvarsha also, the people who came in the dynasty of Priyavrata, which is very pure, they are very fortunate. And why is that? Because Lord himself appeared in that dynasty. Purana, Purusha, Kritavatara, Sadhyas, Chachara, Dharma. And he followed the Dharma which leads to freedom from karma. Vansheshu api madhya priyavrata vansho dhanya ityaha hoji. So among the various dynasties, the dynasty of Priyavrata is very fortunate. That is being described here. And then the 3rd verse says, Konvasya kasthama puro nugachen manorathen api abhavasya yogi yoga maya sprihati udasta hi asattaya yena krita prayatnaha. He says, who else is there? Another yogi who can reach the height of Rishabdev. Konusya kashtama puronugachet. Manorathainapi abhavasya yogi. Even by thoughts, you can actually be like him. He was so elevated. Abhavasya yogi, he was the cause of liberation. Yoga mayaha sprihati udasta yasattaya yena krita prayatna. And these various types of powers which people desire, he disregarded them, which became available to him naturally. So asattaya yena udasta. They were all rejected by him. So he says, Yogisu api madhya Rishabdevo dhanya iti. Among the yogis, it is Rishabdeva who is most glorious. Why is that? Konu apro yogi asya kashtham disam api anugachet. That who is the other yogi who can reach such a high level of yogic perfection. Manorathena api kimut karmana. Even by one's thoughts, not to speak of deeds or being like that. Asya kidrisasya abhavasya. What type was he? Abhavasya nasti bhavo yasmat tasya yogi. So, for him there is no birth, or one who gives situation of birthlessness, that is liberation. Yogi yena rishabhena asattaya bhadratvena udasta tyaktya yoga maya yoga jata maya siddhir vanchati. So all the various types of siddhis or perfections which people want, which are product of yoga maya, or those which come from yogic practice, they were rejected by him. Idrishi kritah prayatno yas tadarthanam prayatnascha karoti. People who endeavor or practice yoga to attain these perfections, they were rejected by him. Yadva rishabdevo asmat swikarotu iti kritah prayatno yadhista. All the meaning is that these spiritual perfections, they were making an effort that maybe Rishabdev can accept us. But he did not. That can be another meaning. Iti hi sma sakala veda loka deva brahman gavam param guror bhagavata rishabhakyasya vishuddha acharitam iritam पुंसां समस्त दुश्चरिता अभिहरणम परम महामंगलायन इदम अनुश्रद्धयो उपचितया अनुशृणोति आश्रावयति वा अवहितो भगवति तस्मिन् वासुदेवे एकांततो भक्तिरन्योरपि समानुवर्तते. So this is the benefit of his now pronouncing that this Rishabdev, who is the Supreme Lord, and he is the Supreme Teacher of all the Vedas, people, Devas, Brahmanas, cows, means they are worshipable. So anyone who hears, recites the wonderful character, the pure character of Rishabdev, Samast Duscharita Viharanam, it will take away all the impure characteristics of such person. Param Mahamangalayanam, and it is the source of all auspiciousness. Anushradhya Upchitaya Anushanoti Ashravati Avahito. So one who hears this with great attention or makes them hear to others. Tasmin Vasudeva Ekantato Bhakti Anirapi Samanvat. So such a person will have devotion to Vasudeva. Kincha सत्यादि युग वर्तिभ्यो योगिभ्यस्तशिक्षित योगानुष्ठातृभ्यः सकाशात् कलियुग वर्तिनो जनास्तल्लीला श्रवण कीर्तनवंतो अधिक फल भाजो भवन्ति. He says that in Kali Yuga, the people who hear or recite the activities of Rishabdev, they get superior benefit even to people of Satyuga, Treta and Dwapar, the yogis who try to follow the activities of Rishabdev. This is being described here. Because they follow his behavior, they will not get devotion. They can only attain perfection in yoga. Param Guror Hit Karina Vishuddham Acharitam. So Rishabdev, he is the Param Guru, or he is the benefactor of the cows, the Vedas, the Brahmanas. Devas Vishuddham Acharitam Ichi Cha Iritam. So this wonderful character and what he has spoken. Nayam Deho Deha Bhajam Ityadi Upadesh Vakyam. The instructions which he gave to his sons. Ashraveti Kirtayati. So one who makes it hear others or one who recites them. Aniyo Shrotri Vaktro Rapikarat Smartur Anumodati. So both one who hears and one who recites, they will attain devotion to Krishna. And this also indicates that one who remembers this or one who appreciates his character, these people will also attain devotion to Krishna. Yasyamev kavaya atmanam avaritam Vivida Vrijana Sansara Paritapa Upatapyamanam Anusavanam Snapayanta Tayaiva Paraya Nirvritya Yapvargam Atyantikam Param Purusharthamapi Swam Asaditam Noeva Adriyante Bhagavadyatvenaiva Parisamapta Sarvartha. So now he glorifies bhakti, that this bhakti is which Kavaya Atmanam Aviratam Vividha Vrijana Sansara Paritapa Uptapyamanam Anusamnam Snapayanta. That the wise people, they engage only in devotion. It is described here that they take bath in it. Snapayanta, continuously take dip in it. And clean their heart, which is tormented by the miseries of material world. Anusavanam, regularly, every day. And this bhakti is so blissful, then they do not care for anything else in front of it. Apvargam atyantikam param purusharthamapi swam asaditam noeva adriyant. That even when liberation becomes available by itself to such people, they disregard it because they get so much pleasure from this. Bhagavadyatvenaiva parisamapta sarvartha. So being devoted to the Lord, they achieve all perfections. There is nothing else which remains to be attained by them. And therefore they do not care for any material boons, including up to the liberation. Bhakti hai param purushartha shinomanittvamaha. Bhakti or devotion is described here as the supreme purushartha, or the supreme goal which can be attained in the human life. There are many things you can achieve by human birth. You can become famous, you can make money, have power, followers. So so many things you can achieve, but the highest which one can attain is the love of God. Yasyam bhaktau eva sudha sariti atmanam snapayanta. So the wise people, they continuously take a dip in the river of devotion. Swam asaditam aprarthitam api bhagavata swameva diyamanam api, and they do not accept liberation which presents itself to such people, or even if God personally wants to give it to them, they reject it. Anadare hetu, why is that? Because if something which is so much liked by others comes to them, why they don't accept it? So he says, because after they become devotees of the Lord, all their desires become completely fulfilled. Parita samyak prapta sarve arthayai natu bhagavat preme ityartha. And thus they do not desire. Because if their desires are already complete, then what is the need to have this liberation or anything else? So then this next verse is very important, very popular verse. Rajan patir guru alam bhavatam yadunam devam priya kulpati kvacha kinkaro vaha astu evamang bhagavan bhajatam mukunda muktim dadati karachit smana bhakti yogam. So now so much glorification for bhakti is given, but this verse says that bhakti is not easily available. It says that, my dear king, Lord Krishna, he acted as the protector, the teacher, as the worshipable, as the master of family, and sometimes even as a servant of the Pandavas and also of the Yadavas. Means the forefathers of Parikshit, to whom he is speaking, and the Yadus in which Krishna was born. So he says that this is true, but my dear fellow, you should know that Lord is called Mukunda, or giver of liberation. So he can give liberation easily, but not Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga he does not give easily. Because different reasons. One reason is explained, if he gives Bhakti Yoga, then he himself becomes the servant of his devotees, as described here. Second is that before he gives Bhakti, he wants to make sure that the person actually is free from all other desires, not interested in anything else. Otherwise, he will make misuse of it. So because people in general, they have attachment to so many things, then bhakti is not available to such people. So bhakti does not, in other words, tolerate the presence of anything else. There is saying, or it's a part of poetry, that prem galiyati sakari tame dona saman. That this love is like a narrow alley, that only one person can pass in it, not two. Like they have these back streets, small streets. So another car is coming from that side, then you have to stop or back up. There is only one car which can pass through that. Right? We went to the village, there was one bullock cart coming from the opposite side, then we have to back up. The road is so narrow, it's only one car which can go. So the path of Bhakti or path of love is like this, that only love car can move. And if you have liberation car, money car, friendship car, enjoyment car, they have to be thrown out. You have to pass with the love car. And if you are riding any other car, then you have to get out of the love car. So therefore he says that Lord, He can give many things, but not bhakti. See the troublesome verse. So there is a very nice commentary by Srimad on this. Makes very practical commentary. Says Dhanyoyam Priyavrat Vanso Yatra Bhagavan Rishabdeva Utirna. Indeed, this dynasty of King Priyavrata is very fortunate because Lord Rishabdeva appeared in it. So we read about Priyavrata and his sons and then his sons and then Rishabdeva came in it. Uttanapada Vansoapi Dhanya Yatra Prithu. And then brother of Uttanapada was Priyavrata was Uttanapada. Manu had two sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. So his dynasty is also fortunate because Prithu appeared there, who was also avatar of God. Raghuvansopi Dhanya Yatra Rama. And Raghuvans is Dhanya because Lord Ramchandra appeared in Raghuvans. Lord Ramchandra is called Raghava because he came in the Raghu dynasty. Yaduvans Puruvансyor Ekkalikayor api madhya Yaduvansa eva subhava Yadra Krishna. So now Parikshit, he came in the Puruvansa. And there was also Yaduvansa existing at that time, Yadu dynasty. So he says that although Yadu dynasty and Puru dynasty, they are existing at the same time, it is only Yadu dynasty which is fortunate because Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty and Parikshit is in Puru dynasty. He says, I am so unfortunate that I am in Puruvansa. Asmadiya Puruvansastu Sarvato Ati Durgava. He says our Puruvansa is most unfortunate because Uttanpad Vansa, Priyavrat Vansa, Raghu Vansa, Yadu Vansa, they are all fortunate because Lord appeared in them. And Puruvansa did not appear. So he says, I am very unfortunate. Yatra Bhagavan na avatatara. Where Lord did not appear, iti mano anulapena vishidantam rajanam. So King Parikshit, when he heard all this glorification, then he was thinking that, oh, I am so unfortunate because in my dynasty Lord did not appear. When he was thinking like this in his mind, then Sukadeva Goswami, who is omniscient, who could read his mind, sarvagyataya eva gyatva, mokshad bhakter utkarshena pradipaditena tam anandayati he Raja. So, knowing what is going on in his mind, he read his mind, and then to give him pleasure, while explaining that bhakti is superior to moksha, he speaks this verse. And that's why he says that you are thinking you are not fortunate, but look, what did Krishna do? He was a friend of your family, he drove the chariot of your grandfather, he became servant, he was night guard, he was advisor, teacher, he was everything for you, what more you want? So therefore he said, Hey Rajan, O king, Bhavatam Pandavanam Yadunam Chapati. He says that Krishna was yours, means Pandavas, and of the Yadavas Pati, protector. He was the protector. He may have appeared in Yadu dynasty, but he was protector of the Pandavas. Because in this Kurukshetra battlefield, only 5 Pandavas remained. Everybody died. Krishna protected them. They could have been killed also on the last day, because Aswathama came to the camp, but Krishna knowingly he took them out. and the 5 sons of Draupadi were killed. Ashwatthama actually thought that he's killing the Pandavas. So it was dark, and there was no electricity, and he didn't have torchlight. He got his torchlight back. So he went to this camp and he saw 5 brothers sleeping. He thought these are 5 Pandavas, and he killed them one by one. And cut their heads and brought them 5 heads to Duryodhana, like 5 watermelons. So Duryodhana, he recognized that these are 5 sons of Draupadi, and he said, "What have you done? This is nonsense." He destroyed the whole dynasty. So he was not happy. So Krishna protected the Pandavas, and he also protected Parikshit, who was in the womb, because Ashwatthama tried to kill him also. So Lord Krishna entered into the womb of Uttara and destroyed this weapon. And Guru Rupdeshta, he was also teacher. He spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Devam Upasya, he was also their worshipper. Pandavas worshipped Krishna in the yajna. He got the first worship. That's why Shishupala was killed. Priya Priti Krita, and he did all welfare to you. Kulapatir Niyanta, he was also the head of the family because he was controlling and guiding everybody. So the meaning is that Yadushu Avatarato api Krishnasya teshu bhavatsu cha tulya eva vaharo drishta. So he says that although he was born in the Yadu dynasty, but his behavior towards Pandavas was just as he was behaving towards the Yadavas. So don't lament. Kincha kvacha kadachit va Pandavanam dutyadisu kinkara nacha tatha yadunam. In fact, he showed more affection to you people than to Yadus, because sometimes he acted like a servant, which he never did to the Yadavas. He never behaved like a servant to the Yadavas. But to Pandavas he became messenger. He drove the chariot. He was also guarding their life at night. So much he was worried about their life that at night, in the daytime he will drive the chariot, at night he will sit outside the tent, make sure the enemy does not come and kill them. So he says he never did this to the Yadavas. Nacha tatha yadunamiti yadubhyo api premvatvena. So he had more affection to you than to the Yadavas. Bhavatam adhikyam eva iti bhava. Bhavadbhyo hi abhajadbhyo api param premadhikyadanasya varta kiyati vaktavya. So he says that how much love he has given to you, who may not be even doing bhajan for him. What can be spoken about this? Sa sarvopari virajita annebhyo bhajbadbhyo api bhakti yogam bhav bhaktim api prayana dadata. That he does not give this bhakti yoga to others who are maybe engaged even in doing his bhajan. And you are not doing that, and still he had so much prema. So don't feel bad. Kintu tatopi ati nikrishtam mukti ne. So generally he gives mukti to people. Happy. Astu eva iti bhastam bhajadbhya atra karhichidapi iti anukter muktim anichadbhya suddha bhaktebhyastu bhaktimeva dadati iti arthalam. So this of course does not mean that he does not give bhakti to anybody. He says those who are pure devotees, who do not desire anything else, for such people he gives bhakti. So the idea is that if one is harboring material desires in the heart, then he does not give bhakti. Only one who has no other desire but for bhakti. As Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhavasita sunyam jnana karma denavritam anukulena prashnanusilanam bhakti ruptam. So, no other abhilasa, no other desire, only one desire, that is for bhakti. So then of course he will give on. He is not going to force mukti on such people. That is the import of this words. And then this is the last verse of this chapter. Nityanubhuta nijlabha nivritta trishna Shreyas tadarachnaya chirasupta buddhehe Lokasya karunaya bhyatma lokam Akhyam namo bhagavate risudhaya tasme. So he is now paying obeisances to Lord Rishabhdev. Says that Lord Rishabhdev, I pay my obeisances to him. And how is he? Says that who gave the instructions of fearlessness to people, or who gave instructions of spirituality to people of this world out of his compassion. People who were sleeping about spirituality because of their desire for material things. So this is important word here, supta buddhi. In general, the intelligence of people is sleeping. That's why they are running after material science pleasures. Because anybody who is intelligent will not run after that, will not make any program or waste any time for sense pleasure. Why? Because you don't gain anything out of it. You enjoy, and then what comes out of it? You actually lose your time and energy. That's the only outcome. You are left bankrupt in the end. So this human life, which again and again has been repeated here, by which you can become realized, that is wasted. That's what Rishabhdev instructed when he was saying, Swa vidbhujam me, nayam deho dev bhajam niloke, kastan kaman arhati vidbhujam me. So in the first statement he made, he said that in this human life, in this human body, one does not deserve to make plan for enjoying material things. So such enjoyment is available even to pigs. So don't be a pig. That's what he was saying. It says, Tapo divyam putra kayena sattvam siddhed brahma saukhyam tu anantam. So what is to be done? So you should engage in divine austerity or divine penance, which is bhakti yoga. So then what will happen? Are we going to suffer? Say no, brahma saukhyam tu anantam. You will get unlimited transcendental pleasure. You want pleasure? Then don't look for big pleasure. You should look for big pleasure. So either you can get big pleasure or big pleasure. It says Brahma Saukhyam. Brahma means very big. Saukhyam means pleasure. So this is the instruction which he has given. Nityanubhuta nijlabha nivritta trishna shreyas tadarachnaya chirasupta buddha. So this was his own experience. He was free from all types of desires himself because of his own internal realization of the self. So it is not possible to become free from material desires unless one actually becomes spiritually realized. Because mind always looks for pleasure. So either you have to find spiritual pleasure or you will naturally go for material pleasure. It's not possible that you can remain without pleasure. So he showed the path. Therefore it is said Chirisukta Buddha, that people who are not aware of this for a long time, whose intelligence was sleeping for a long time, he woke them up. So I give my respect, my obeisances, my honor to such Rishabdev. Upakhyanam samapya pranamati. So after concluding this chapter, he bows down. Nityameva anubhuto yo nijaha swarupananda. So one characteristic of this spiritual pleasure is that it is eternal. Once you get it, then it is not lost. And one characteristic of material pleasure is that it is always temporary. Once you get it, then it is lost, and then you try to get it again and again. So material pleasure, you have to always make effort to get it. Spiritual pleasure, once you get it, that's all. It's one-time investment. So once it is acquired, it is never lost. So that's it says that Nija, Nityanubhuta, Nija Labh, Nityanubhuta, eternal realization. Swarupananda, and this is Ananda which is in your Swarupa, inside. Now you have to depend on someone else for happiness. And when you depend on somebody else, you become slave of that somebody. And that somebody can give you or not give you. Sometimes give, sometimes not. So you are always in trouble. So Vigata Trishna, and when you have your happiness from your own Swarupa, then you are free from all Trishna, all desires. You are satisfied. So wherever you go, you will remain satisfied. No one can take away this satisfaction from you. This cannot be divided. A thief cannot steal it. Government cannot tax it. Right? Otherwise you have some property or something, there is always a tax. So many types of tax you have to pay: property tax, sale tax, various types of taxes. So no one can tax this. It is tax-free happiness. Atadrachnaya dehadi artha chestaya shreyasi vishya chiram sukta buddhiriyas. So he says that those people whose intelligence was sleeping and all their efforts were being made only to keep body happy, he gave them the path of fearlessness. Otherwise we are always in fear. What will happen to me tomorrow? What happens if I don't have money? I lose my job, I lose my position. It's always fear. But once you have your own self, you can never lose it. Atmalokam Sri Vakuntham Prapya Pranayam this time. So then you go to Vakuntha. Vakuntha is the name of Krishna's abode. So Vakuntha means place of no anxiety. You go there, even if you want to be in anxiety, you cannot be. When you try, I want to be in anxiety, it's not possible. here in the material world, even if you try, I don't want to be in anxiety, always something happens that you get into some anxiety. So that place is called Vaikuntha, no anxiety place.
How can we bring Vaikuntha here?
Vaikuntha is already here, you have to give up the desire for non-Vaikuntha things. Then Vaikuntha is already here. Karunayabdishtena bhakti yogena yakhyatvam tasmam. So why did he speak this? To make money? He spoke out of karuna. Simply out of karuna. Karunaya abdishtena. So no other reason. Because he has nothing to achieve for himself. So therefore he says, I bow down to him. Otherwise why Sukadeva Goswami has to bow down? So even Sukadeva, who is a perfected being, he pays obeisance because Lord is giving His grace, His mercy, His compassion to people. So that is very rare that somebody will do that. And people are always motivated to get something. So it says, Karunaya abhaya atma lokam akhyam namo bhagavate visbhaya tasma. So to such people we can only bow down, there is nothing else we can do. And by bowing down to them, it is only we who benefit. Otherwise people think, why I have to bow down? Why? I am somebody. Why is that I have to put my head down? That's not possible. So it's not that he is gaining anything if you put your head down. It is only you who will gain. So if you don't bow down, there is no loss for him. So this is out of gratitude that we bow down. By bowing down, I don't become poor. I don't lose anything. But I show gratitude to the Lord who is giving welfare to everybody. So ultimately we bow down to Him only. So Sarvadev Namaskaram Vasudevam Prati Gacchati. All respects ultimately for Vasudeva, for Krishna. Because He is in everybody. So bow down to Him. So this is the end of 6th chapter, 5th canto. We'll stop here if there is any question on this. Now the story of Bharat Maharaj will come. This is very interesting. He was son of Rishabdev. He was also very great. So that story will come, I think, in 2-3 chapters.
So this Achim Bhakti is simultaneously easy and then difficult.
Yes.
From the Lord is not doing it so easy.
Yes, that's true. So when it's not easily available, then you have to become more serious. That is the meaning. Like if you have to pass an exam, and the exam passing is not easy, then you work very hard for it. Like now, exam for IIT's admission. Some 4-5 lakh students compete for 15,000-20,000 seats. So everybody works very hard. They prepare for 2 years, 2-3 years to get in. Drop all their activity and just concentrate. Then it is possible to get admission. And that is just getting admission. Then you have to study. So if bhakti is not easily available, you have to prepare like that.
Another question about the Shashvatam, no? That every personality represents something.
Every what?
Like, Durga and Dhritarashtra, they represent something in Bhagavatam. No? So this Ashwatthama represents?
Aswathama, what is Aswathama? Well, Aswathama represents like same as Dronacharya, basically being pious people but being on the wrong side.
But it was also trying to please, but he do something wrong, he's trying to please him. He couldn't. Very not right.
Yes.
I have got some confusion about what is called liberation.
Liberation means becoming free from birth and death.
Yes, this is quite clear, but in this chapter is mentioned. So I previously thought that if we are practicing, for example, bhakti, at some point we will be also free from birth and death.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But what? So in this case, I don't understand why it was mentioned that if even Krishna will propose mukti, Bhakta will refuse, because in any case he will be liberated from birth and death. Right? And after liberation, Bhakti continues, right?
Yeah, but if he only wants liberation, then he may not do bhakti. You can be liberated and not do bhakti, but when you do bhakti, you will be liberated. So when you do bhakti, it's like if you go to meet the king. Suppose you are invited by the king. So you can expect that if you go there, you will get some drink, something to eat. But suppose your purpose is only that, then king is not interested in you, he gives you and then you go.
Can you nevertheless say some words? For example, somebody wants really only mukti, and he gets it, for example, yes? So it means that the soul will eternally reside in some spiritual sphere, or what?
Yeah, there are two types of mukti, personal mukti and impersonal mukti. So impersonal mukti means that one will just be part of Brahman Jyoti. The soul will have no spiritual body. It will just be a soul like a spark and remain within Brahman and think happy and like this.
Like Aham realize me.
Yes.
That's it.
That is one type of mukti. Another is personal liberation, that you can be a servant of God or friend of God. These are also Sahyajya Mukti.
So servant but not bhakti.
No, you can be a... Yes, the thing is you have to see what is the predominance. So there is a Salokya Mukti. Salokya Mukti means living on the same planet as Krishna. So naturally, if you are living in Vaikuntha, you are a devotee. But your interest is just living there. Your interest is not that you want to serve Krishna. You are just happy that you are living in that planet. Although without devotion you cannot go there. So you are also some kind of a devotee. But your devotion is only up to this much, that I am in Krishna's planet. And you accept Krishna as God and as Supreme and all this that. But you are not dying to serve Him.
Because serving, you can serve anywhere, right? If he wants to be in that very place,
Right.
I see. Also some special interest is
Right.
there, besides the love for God, for example.
Right.
And
So without bhakti, mukti is not possible. So anyone who gets liberated, he has to perform
some,
bhakti.
at least some bhakti.
Yeah. Even impersonal mukti, impersonal liberation is not possible without bhakti. Mam chaya vyadhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan santete brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So even to have brahma bhuyaya, Brahman realization, one has to do bhakti. But the thing is that the person's interest is not bhakti. From bhakti he is trying to get mukti. In other words, whatever you want, it is bhakti which gives you. You can get bhukti, material pleasures. You can get liberation, or you can get bhakti. So bhakti can give you bhakti, bhakti can give you mukti, bhakti can give you bhukti.
So the only difference is to which extent soul is ready to serve.
Right. So those who want material pleasures from bhakti, they are also bhaktas, but they are sakam bhaktas. They are bhaktas with material desires.
I was previously thinking that maybe a soul will make some progress previously. For example, some soul could desire also material pleasures, but later maybe it will evolve to have more higher desires, or it will not happen automatically while practicing bhakti, such evolution of desires, such refinement of desires to have, for example.
It is possible.
Also possible. So how can we be sure for ourselves that we are doing this right thing, not fall apart at some place?
And then you have to study your own mind. What is that which you give importance to? That you have to study yourself.
And also, I have read somewhere that those who attain impersonal mukti, it is not eternal, they will fall down later. Not like this.
How can they fall down? They fall
No,
down.
that's why I'm asking, because I also was thinking it's strange.
If they fall down, then it is not mukti.
Yeah, right?
That's not true. Once you attain mukti, you don't fall down.
So Buddhism doesn't go through bhakti, absolutely not.
And that's why they don't go anywhere.
So that they can't be liberated. Also Mayavadis like Ramana, Sri Ramana Maharishi.
Yeah, they are not devoted to God, they cannot be liberated. You can attain very high position.
High position means?
Means you can be very situated in a very high sattva, goodness.
But not liberated.
Even impersonal mukti is not meant for such practitioners.
No, meant or not meant, what he is saying is that without bhakti it is not possible to attain impersonal mukti.
So if
Because it is Krishna who gives this. So if you don't approach him, why would he give it? What will liberate you? You cannot become liberated simply by your own power, right? By using your own mind, your own ego. How can you liberate yourself? Because whatever you are using to liberate, they themselves are problematic.
It's the cause of the bandage. The mind.
So you can control your senses, your mind by using your buddhi, but then buddhi will remain.
Yeah, that's right.
What will you do with that? Of course, you will be very extraordinary because you will have so much light and awareness. But you cannot be like that.
Yeah, there are sages from the past, they left some traces behind. There must have been something, like this Ramana Maharishi, J. Krishnamurti.
Yeah, so they are elevated people.
Elevated.
There is no
With
doubt.
just goodness.
No goodness.